In the Know for Tuesday, May 7th, the 128th day of 2024. There are 238 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Colonel Debbie Childress from Grayson County Alliance will stop by. We're going to talk art in the park. Plus, we'll give you your chance to win with the water cooler question. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Connecticut. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. That's one thing we didn't talk about, though, on the show on yesterday.
I had a note about it, but never got around to it. Just as soon as she said it, I thought, well, she's going to get dragged for that, and she did. You had one job. Say Kentucky.
I saw. I don't remember who it was that tweeted and made a really good point. I think it might have been Eric Lindsay, former UKSID, saying it's the Kentucky Derby, and you lead into Snoop Dogg in a Steelers jersey, and then you go to Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
And it's not only like it wasn't like Kentucky Derby 143. Like,
right. It's going to be the biggest derby in the remainder of, like, after Derby 100, which I was around for, Derby 150, probably the biggest derby in my lifetime. So it's not like
maybe 175 could be kind of cool, but
175 will be big, but it's not, those just aren't, we kind of deal in like 50s. But yeah, I agree, 175 will be big. But she had one job, and that was to say Kentucky and Kentucky Derby. And the two most important words were riders up. But she did get that right, because they also have riders up in Connecticut. So she couldn't mess it up.
Yeah, but as I think it might have been Matt Jones yesterday said, is if anything, just say riders up. Like, you don't have to add in all of the extra, stuff.
But it was rehearsed, though. She was reading from a card, or there was something pre-prepared, just like Governor Beshears was pre-prepared, and he did a fine job, I thought, too, getting all the selling points factored in there. I've kind of felt bad for Snoop, because they did such a good job with the setup because of the connection, and giving some swag to it, and they cut to her and she fumbles. So, but that's okay. We knew it's the Connecticut Derby. That's famous the world. Listen, if there's one thing you travel around the world and you say to someone, "What can you tell me about Connecticut?" They say, "Oh, the Derby."
Horse
Everybody
racing,
knows
yeah.
the Connecticut Derby.
Along with Connecticut bourbon.
Yes, Connecticut bourbon, very famous, and Connecticut fried chicken. It's one of my favorites everywhere I travel.
I was going to say, and then Connecticut basketball, but then I was like, oh, wait, no, they actually are known for that.
They do have basketball there, yes.
Maybe that's where she got messed up.
They do. I'm gonna pretend like your mom is probably late arriving to the show today. So, have you selected your Mother's Day gift yet?
We're still not sure when we're celebrating, so I still get a couple more days.
You got a little extra time. If you're planning on giving your mom chocolate, flowers, and/or breakfast in bed this Mother's Day, don't. The most common complaint about chocolates is that mothers were dieting and watching their weight. Flowers come in for criticism because they're expensive and don't last long. And moms don't want the age-old breakfast in bed because they're the ones that have to clean up the mess. So they're like, just spare moms that. Do something else instead. All right, let's talk about the weather. It's going to be a dynamic couple of days, potentially. We may see some severe afternoon storms possible. We're going to see a severe threat for today. This is regionally, I know for our particular area, the rain chance is very low. But these systems, we heard about them being deadly in Oklahoma yesterday. They'll be sweeping across the country and could bring some damaging winds, some hail, some isolated tornadoes. I think it's very important that you just be weather aware and pay attention over the next couple of days. There are some models that the data is kind of too early. It could go above us, it could go below us, but the factors that are going to be in the atmosphere will have the potential to certainly have some damage. So again, just be weather aware. Have more than one way to get weather information, not just your phone, not just a radio. If you lose electricity, just be prepared. I know the county has a new app. Also, we've got the storm sirens that have recently been tested. So just kind of pay attention. We always have the emergency alert system for you, passing along updates. So just be prepared. With the warmth that has ramped up in the last few days, the atmosphere has become a little more volatile, and can certainly have big impact on us. We'll top out at 83 today. We'll see 67 for the overnight low, with a 70% chance of rain. And then severe storms are possible for tomorrow, a high of 87. We are right now in that, on the scale between 1 through 5. I think we're being predicted at like a 2, maybe into a 3 into the category. You can see that graphic where 1, 2, and 3
I do believe this specific graphic, though, is for tomorrow evening.
is for tomorrow evening.
Yes, I believe, because I think today we are in like a 1.
Yeah, we're a 1 today until tonight, and then the rain moves in
Correct.
tonight. But by the time it probably impacts us, it's technically going to be tomorrow. But anyway,
But yeah,
reading
so
a little.
tomorrow is where I think the bigger worry for our specific area is.
Of course, John Gordon is the head of the NWS in Louisville, and so he kind of gave a briefing yesterday laying out some of this. But he acknowledged in his 20 years that he hasn't seen the setup very many times like we could potentially see tomorrow. The Trump hush money trial has become increasingly more laughable because this idea of his gag order being violated repeatedly, and now the judge has. I think he's found him in contempt like 10 times. He's fined him 10 times. But the judge is a little bit, at this point, like the parent who threatens punishment but never follows through. Now he's to the point, now, if you do that one more time, I might have to strongly consider putting you in jail. So the first 10 times, it was no problem. But if you do it one more time, I might have to strongly consider putting you in jail, which would be the biggest circus of all time, because you throw the Secret Service in with them. Do you? I mean, like, what? It's just, this would be.
Yeah, there was an interesting discussion on KSR yesterday about that.
The circus of all circuses.
Yeah.
Are they going to send him to Rikers Island? Are they going to have him in a holding cell? And you're playing exactly into his hands. He made money off of the mugshot. Imagine what a picture from a jail cell would do.
And then again, they made the good point on KSR is, do you almost have to put him in solitary?
Maybe.
Be-
Throw him
be-
in the hole.
Yeah,
90 days in the hole.
But you got to think, like, can you keep him safe in general population?
No, I mean you can't, and that's why this is where the powers bump up against one another on who trumps who. Pardon the pun, because when the Secret Service roll into town through special order of Congress, special permission of Congress, they kind of trump the town's mayor. So if the Secret Service comes to town, normally you'd think, well, I want Harold Miller bossing the Secret Service around. But no, Congress says that the Secret Service gets to boss all of us around. And that's kind of the same thing everywhere the Secret Service goes. So it would be.
Would the mayor not put his foot down and say, no, I've got more authority here?
Well, I mean, he'd probably put his chief of police up against whatever the chief of the Secret Service is. And it would be like a loser leaves town match.
Mm-hmm.
They would arm wrestle, and whoever loses has to leave town.
The chief of police would probably have more success than the sheriff, right? I mean,
oh, without a doubt. I've seen the chief's guns. You've seen the sheriff's guns. Enough said. Speaking of the LPD, multiple boats have been stolen from Renegade Marine and Outdoor Center in Litchfield. The LPD is investigating after 3 boats were stolen late on Saturday night from their dealership on Commerce Drive. Apparently, a GMC Yukon, a Chevrolet 2500, and a Ford F-250 were involved in stealing at least 3 boats, and then looks like they are believed to have fled and traveled east on the Parkway. So if you know something, let them. We got a pretty good look from the cameras, so maybe they will help produce the culprits in that theft. Kentucky Republican Secretary of State Michael Adams, who worked to expand early voting in the Bluegrass State, and has spoken out against election denialism in his own party, has been chosen to receive the John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award this year. In its announcement yesterday, the JFK Library Foundation said Adams was recognized for expanding voting rights and standing up for free and fair elections despite party opposition and death threats from election deniers. He even called some of those deniers, called them cranks and kooks, is what he said. I like the job Michael Adams is doing. I know he got challenged in the primary. Listen, I do think that things that happened, this is just me, I do think that things that happened during the 2020 election, whether they were changing the voting locations, et cetera, I think that made it harder. And I think that, but Donald Trump did a lot of his own undoing by himself. But I just yet to see much evidence of things being nefarious, especially in Kentucky where it really wasn't going to matter. But I like what Mike Adams has done in making it easy to vote and hard to cheat, which is what we want. Everybody that's legally qualified to vote should. Nobody that isn't should. And I think he's done, to me, I think he's done a fine job. The Preakness is a little bit uncertain because you've got a Derby winner, Mystic Dan. They're not committed yet because Kenny McPeak said that he once turned this horse around on 2 weeks and it turned into a disaster. So they're going to let the horse decide. They may just go ahead and set their sights on Saratoga, where the Belmont is run this year. Saratoga is hosting for the next 2 years while they rebuild. I guess I want to see Mystic Dan, but I don't want to see Mystic Dan at the expense of the horse. One of the reasons I think it would be interesting, of course, Bob Baffert has been waiting. He's sending 2 to the Preakness because he was not allowed in the Derby. He's sending Muth and Imagination to the Preakness. Muth won the Arkansas Derby, and Imagination finished right behind Stronghold in the Santa Anita Derby. Baffert's won the Preakness 8 times, including last year with National Treasure. Sierra Leone is skipping the Preakness, they've already said. So I don't know if it'll be a watered-down field or not, but maybe they'll all come together, and it'll be a battle royale at the Belmont when they will settle and see who takes the prize for the end of the Triple Crown. There has been a court case that it's a settlement that's being discussed in an antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA and major college conferences, which may cost billions and pave the way for a compensation model for college athletes. So NIL led the way. NIL kind of came alongside when this antitrust suit was going on about compensating college athletes. The long argument has been you're compensated with your scholarship, and then that argument has started to hold less and less water. And you're seeing, especially now when you introduce money to college athletes, whether it's for NIL or whatever it is, the rest of them are saying, well, we should be able to organize, we should be able to collective bargain, we should be compensated in some way. The doomsayers say that it will impact the Olympic sports the most because most of the money will go to the athletes who are performing in the revenue sports. When you take that much money out of the TV deals and send it to the players, it's less money to fund the gymnastics team and the water polo team and the swimming team. So I fear what may be the outcome for those. But it would be a very confusing time, like who makes the call, who gets paid, who doesn't, how much they get paid. It would be, to me, a hard thing to decide. The thing I also wonder, Sam, in the long run, does this potentially bring coaching salaries back down out of the stratosphere? Because heretofore, you've been able to put most of your labor money into your coach, and contracts have gotten astronomical. Well, now if you're able to pay better players to come and you reduce the importance on recruiting, then do you have to not invest as much money in staff and recruitment and that type of thing? It's just going to be a confusing time.
Yeah, and I can't imagine coaches' salaries are going to drop. So I think what you're going to see is those TV deals keep going up and up and up and up and up. And also just the more money that they're going to be getting in creative ways as well, especially in the digital world. And I think it's going to be those schools that adapt and find find that the fastest are going to be the ones that are the most successful early on.
Yeah, the early adapters and the early adopters typically win. Or sometimes you can be on the leading edge of innovation. Sometimes you can be on the bleeding edge of innovation, and it's just a matter of getting right up there to the edge without crossing over. In the UK notebook, I saw where Adu Thiero finally, he didn't want to play for John Calipari at Kentucky for a second year, seemingly because, he said he was entering the draft or he was leaving, but now he's made the decision to go on to Arkansas and play for Cal there. What do you make of that? Anything?
I think the NIL check cleared.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because from what I understand is like there were some issues with the staff at Kentucky, now the staff at Arkansas. Apparently, Adu wanted to file for the NBA draft, but they didn't file the paperwork on time.
Ooh.
So, which to me is interesting because you'd think if somebody did something to that to you, why would you want to follow them to a different school? I really thought it was going to be Pittsburgh or North Carolina. Since he's from Pittsburgh, North Carolina, does that mean what more needs to be said there? But it's interesting.
Do you remember if Kenny Payne on Cal's staff at Memphis?
No.
Okay.
Kenny Payne
So
came the second year. He was at Oregon, I believe.
Okay. The reason I wondered is because, Adu's dad played at Memphis for Cal. So I didn't know if the Kenny Payne to Arkansas made any difference on them saying, well, yeah, let's try to go to Fayetteville and see what happens. In other notes, it seems like most of the spring sports in Lexington are doing extremely well, except for maybe softball. The UK baseball team has a 1-game lead, I think, on Tennessee in the sole possession of the first place in the SEC. The tennis team is now 26-2 on the season in their matches. The softball team is a 12 seed in the SEC tournament. So exciting times in Lexington. Grayson County scheduled to play today. Kind of recap yesterday and what's scheduled for today.
So canceled yesterday was baseball was supposed to host North Hardin. That game was canceled due to, obviously, the rain. And then the softball team was supposed to be at home. That game got moved to Ohio County because they have a turf softball field. And the Lady Cougars picked up a big win, 5-2. Fell behind early, took a big lead late in the 5th inning, and jumped ahead to pick up that 5-2 victory. Softball is on the road at Owensboro today, and then baseball is scheduled to play John Hardin today at 5 o'clock. And if Mother Nature finally will be, this has been the worst luck we've had as far as our broadcast schedule and Mother Nature. If Mother Nature allows it, we will be with the Cougar baseball team today against John Hardin. Hopefully we can because, well, I kind of want to.
You'd like to see some baseball, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And a reminder, 1 week from today, PGA Championship practice rounds get underway at Valhalla in Louisville. Going to be an exciting week. Last week was exciting for Derby 150. Next week going to be exciting for the PGA Championship. We'll follow that. We will also be following Art in the Park. Debbie Childress is the director of Grayson County Alliance, and she joins us next. We'll talk Art in the Park coming up here on In the Know.
What do you call someone who puts your family's interests ahead of their own? Someone who takes time to listen without rushing you or passing judgment. Someone you can count on to help guide you through one of life's most difficult times. At Watkins Funeral Home, we call someone like that a friend of the family. For families making funeral arrangements in Litchfield, there's only one thing you need to know. You've got a friend at Watkins Funeral Home. For more information, visit us online at rogers-watkins.com.
Introducing Dr. Nathaniel Gastaldo, an experienced podiatrist specializing in foot and ankle conditions at Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center in Grayson County. Whether it's a painful injury or chronic condition of your feet or ankles, Dr. Gastaldo has the expertise to help you get back to a more comfortable stride. Schedule your appointment online by visiting owensborohealth.org/podiatry.
Wherever you are in life, if you're in Kentucky, Medicaid may be available to you. With health coverage you need, health coverage that's cost-free, and health coverage that's available at any time. And it's easy to find a plan that works for you. So don't miss out. Visit connect.ky.gov now, and let's get you covered together.
DQ presents How to Officially Start Your Summer. Step 1, head to the perfect spot to kick off the season, DQ. Step 2, try the new Summer Blizzard menu. I mean, summer is right there in the name. And Step 3, dig into flavors like new peanut butter cookie dough party, new picnic peach cobbler, and more. Because with treats like these, every bite feels like you're starting summer off right. But don't wait. These flavors are only around as long as summer is. Make the season official with the new Summer Blizzard menu, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 3rd. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Quality paves the way. That's the motto of Scotty's Contracting in Stone. All of the crushed stone products from Scotty's quarry in Litchfield are mined underground. Scotty's Contracting and Paving provides cleaner products made from pure limestone. If you agree that quality makes the difference, contact the team at Scotty's Contracting in Stone for crushed stone products for your project at 259-5696. That's 259-5696. Our quarry is located on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
The latest advance in robotics is making machines more lifelike. UT Austin researchers have developed a stretchy electronic skin that mimics how human flesh works.
It can really make future humanoid have skins, both mechanically and electrically.
Professor Nasha Liu says that these sensors are accurate even when the skin is stretched to the limit. She envisions the technology used in robots that provide care to humans. Their so-called e-skin would allow the machines to softly wipe a patient or help them turn in a bed. McAfee and Intel are partnering on AI-driven deepfake detection technology. Deepfake Detector, which was previously known as
Today is Tourism Day. It is National Teacher Day. It is Concert Day today. Those are things that we're celebrating. It's also the day we say good morning and welcome back to Colonel Debbie Childress. She is the director of the Grayson County Alliance, some of our dear friends. Good morning, Colonel. Good to see you.
Good morning.
I guess you're not like you don't have a military attachment or a battalion that you lead, but because you're a Kentucky colonel, we lovingly love to salute you whenever we get an opportunity. It's good to see you. It was good to see you at the ECTC 10-year celebration a couple of weeks ago. I know that's a campus that you're proud of.
I certainly am. I'm proud to be an alumni and so thankful for what it means for our community to have education right here, no matter what age you are.
Maybe even distinguished alumni. Have you received that designation?
Yes, I did.
I thought that you had. Congratulations on that. I want to talk to you about art in the park momentarily. We annually get together and talk about it. You know how we love to be supportive of it. But you're involved in something new for the first time. And it's Kentucky Gives Day is what I'm told it's called. What does that mean?
So this has been going on for 12 years. And Kentucky Gives Day is an opportunity all across the state of Kentucky for anyone to take 5 minutes, go to KentuckyGivesDay.org, pick their charity of choice, and just put your dollars behind what you find important in your life and what do you want to see change in your community. And so as the Alliance, we're participating for the first year, and we've had a lot of social media go out about it. You can click on any of those links in our social media. It's really easy to find us once you go to kygives.org. Just search GCA and you'll find us. And we've raised $970 so far. I checked just a minute ago, and every dollar matters. We're going to put it to good use. It stays right here in Grayson County, comes directly to us. It's just an opportunity. to have statewide exposure and to draw alongside over 270 other nonprofits seeking to raise funds for the issues they're advocating for.
When the economy gets a little sluggish and resources get maybe spread a little more thinly, or they're harder to extract, or there's greater need, or there are more hands out trying to tap into those same benevolent streams, I would presume it presents new and unique challenges for organizations like Grayson County Alliance.
Absolutely. As a helping agency, we found foundations and granting and individual donors are all key to our success. We're not a government funded agency. And so when our donors struggle, when their funds are reduced, then our funds are reduced. But the flip side of that is, but the need increases, and the need for what we're doing, it gets greater. So that the tension in that is difficult for every nonprofit. We see it here at the Alliance. We see new families every week we serve.
It is if you think of it like a machine or in a wheel, it's all cyclical and circular, and the donors have to be involved, and it has to come into the top side, and there's greater, and you got to keep that spinning. If any link in that chain gets broken or stressed, it can cause catastrophe. So the importance is remembering to continue to support the Grayson County Alliance. We've always talked about your ability to harness the power of a dollar, to be able to, your buying power is far greater than ours is at the store. Does that remain true even during economic times? Are you able to be more competitive than we can?
Yes, I will say that the options are diminished. Like the diversity of what I can get for that buying power has changed. We've benefited so greatly from our community's generosity in donations of food. So like this month is Stamp Out Hunger next Saturday, or this Saturday, we have the big Cougar Drive each year with the alumni. The hospital has done 2 for us, or already done a spring one for us this year. They have a huge fall one. So we are really benefiting from those resources. When the community gives a can or the community gives $1, we're making much of it over here.
More, I've lost track over the years, or maybe I can't count that high, but where are we, 15 years on Art in the Park or more?
Oh no, we're just at number. Last year we celebrated our 10th, so this is 11.
Just 10? Okay, so we're at 11. I knew it was a round number. I'm confused by Derby 150. I thought there was a 1 and a 5 in it.
Listen, when it comes to Art in the Park 150, they'll be talking about us.
Yes,
Maybe.
yeah. They're thinking about our forefathers that founded it. When you think back more than 11 years ago now, when the seeds were planted for Art in the Park, has it come into focus the way that you would have hoped those many years ago?
I wasn't part of the original team, but I certainly since 2016 have seen the growth of it, and just that the community embraces it. Like this, they see this as a great opportunity locally, but regionally. It's Tourism Day, and Litchfield Tourism has been a faithful sponsor, like K105 has to Art in the Park, and it's so important to spotlight these creative talents of people, whether it be musical or one of the artistic mediums. It's just amazing how God has created people and how they can reflect that creation in what they create. And I think our county has embraced it and said, hey, this is ours and we're proud of it. And it has grown. It has grown in popularity. It's grown in the diversity of artists. We have an artist coming this year from Columbia, Kentucky.
Wow.
And he's woodworking. And so we're super excited.
So I remember, I guess I hate to start dropping names because I know I will leave someone out, but I remember some of the original conversations about Art in the Park, and maybe it was Rita or Linda or Park or some of those people who were the early spearheads behind this, and the dreaming it and then seeking out to do it. And when they ask for our support, you've heard me say this many times, and I'll continue to tell the story each and every year, is that when I was proposed with the idea to support it, and I said, anything that deepens the cultural pool of our community, I will always be in support of. And so I have seen, just in 10 or 11 years, And some of it is due to technology, but people that I had no idea were artists, and people who had no idea they were artists or artistic have been encouraged and fostered, and they've kind of bloomed into artisans when you might not have imagined they would before.
Absolutely. And we've seen a number of people, I think of Paula Haynes and Jackie Pierce, Rhonda Frank, their art has been consistently showed with us, but they have just wowed us with their growth and maturity as artists. They are award winning and well known. And it's just exciting right here in Grayson County. And we just can celebrate that as a county in as much as we can celebrate anything else.
You mentioned it. It's become an event that it's grown in popularity, and it's grown in popularity to the point that it's an event. There are those events that you can set your calendar by, and you can set your calendar by Art in the Park. And this year's date is May 18th. It will be from 9 to 4 at James D. Bevel Park, which has changed a lot in 11 years and blossomed into a great facility to host it. It's shady. It's, it's strolling. It's rolling. There's ample space, and we're excited. But it's free to attend. Parking, admission, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. We want this a festival that there's no reason you can't bring the whole family to it and find something to do, find community to do it with, and then experience the excellence of art. As a fine arts and crafts show, anybody entering our show has to be juried. And so they have to be accepted to our show. It's not just, hey, you paid a fee and got to come. And it's just an excellent way to spend the day with your family. Come and go as you please. There's food and music and children's activities and all kinds of fun.
We like to be out ahead of the event early enough that we can encourage exhibitors. Is there still time to be juried and get into the show?
Yeah, I can do that real quick. We have about 4 slots that we could make happen.
Okay.
But we've already accepted a lot of artists. Everybody was really quick to get in the show this year, which is exciting for them to be doing that. But there's about 4 slots yet left, and first come, first serve that makes it in.
I know it was probably during COVID, and as it has gotten larger, I remember you being a couple of weeks out, and you would tell me, I really need to get exhibitors. I really need to get people. So the fact that now you're having to manage your inventory says to me that's a testament to the growth and popularity of the show. There are also some components inside Art in the Park. The tiny art show right over there, over your right shoulder in the background, you've got some tiny art on display. Talk about the significance and the importance of it.
In as much as this is a way that GCA can give back to the community by hosting a festival, it is also a fundraiser for the food pantry. And the way we raise funds is through sponsorships. Community members want to sponsor. There's still opportunities for that. And then we, a couple years ago, started the Tiny Art Show. And this is a place where whether you're a professional or an amateur artist, you can participate. So you do a 4x6 or smaller flat panel canvas. And this year's theme is abstract. So pretty much anything goes. And you donate that art to us. It goes on exhibit at 9 a.m. on May 18th. And then the rest of the day, the exhibit is for sale. And each piece is sold for $10. It's a way for you to invest in the Alliance. It's a way for you to show your talents or just put yourself out there a little bit with your art. But it's just a great way for anybody in the community to participate in Art in the Park as an artist. And maybe someday they'll be on Artist Row as a vendor.
I know you'll find it hard to believe, but I've been called abstract myself a few times. So I would probably fit right in with the Tiny Art Show. I might also fit in, you've got a lineup of doing performance
Absolutely.
art. Talk about your musical lineup that you have.
Yeah, Lesson Downs handles the stage portion of Art in the Park for us, and she's done a great job getting it together. My friend and retired teacher from the Grayson County High School, Teresa Jarbo, will be bringing her alumni choir. Slug Merlin is coming back this year. Dawson Stevenson is going to be there. He was in there last year. We have Millerstown back this year. I'm so excited that they were able to join us. It's been a couple of years. And then Lesson Downs and Patrick Lampton. So all day there'll be music. There'll be something going on the stage. A great place to sit down and eat your pork chop sandwich from the Band Boosters.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just enjoy the fellowship and then wander around, visit with neighbors, bring a friend. It's just going to be a great day in Litchfield.
I don't think we've, unless you did it and it slipped by me, I don't think we've dropped the L word, have we? Did you mention Larry?
Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm sorry. I was trying to work out what was the L word.
I mean, when you can mention Larry Elmore, we better mention
Yeah,
Larry
yeah.
Elmore.
So he's such a staple of who we are at Art in the Park because he was there at the beginning. He did that inaugural poster that we still have a few signed and numbered copies that we'll be selling. But Larry is fantastic. We had him at the show last year, and he had a guy drive all the way from Danville just to see him. And this guy was blown away about Larry being, just present for our community. And then he was excited about the art all across the room. And so he said, I'm going to be back next year. So Larry will be at the show, and he's such a big supporter of the Alliance and helps us generate funds with Empty Bowls. But just him being at Art in the Park, people may not appreciate Larry that live here as much as we should.
Yeah, that's right. But when you realize how famous he is and how coveted he is around the globe, you have a greater appreciation. Take it from me. I promise when you go, you're going to see something that will surprise you. You'll see something that you'll go, oh, I've never seen anyone do that before. I use the example of the barrels being turned into the welder who would weld Tahitian looking and Polynesian types of sculptures into garbage cans or burn barrels. I would have never considered that to be a work of art, but I found it fascinating.
Yeah, there's unique pieces, and the craftsmanship on so many things are just wow. Like, not just you did that, but the hours that it takes to produce some of these pieces is incredible. And what can be gained, the inspiration that you can get as an amateur artist. I love going and seeing it. I'm like, oh, I want to try that and have that experience and learn from that person. And that's what's cool about Larry. He doesn't just sign things. He's talking and sharing and inspiring and encouraging and cultivating the next generation of artists and giving them the boldness. He's just a guy from Litchfield that has become an amazing talent and has amazing reputation.
GCArtinthepark.org. You can GC Art in the Park Instagram, on Facebook. You can call. Just make sure you show up on Saturday, May 18th, 2024, 9 to 4, James D. Bevel City Park. Colonel Debbie Childress, we love you. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, we love you all, and happy congratulations on the grandbaby.
Oh, thank you very much. We're so excited. We'll talk to you again soon. That's Debbie Childress. We got the water cooler question coming up. Going to be your chance to win coming up. You're on In the Know.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Smith Overhead Door is redefining entryways in Litchfield where every click of the remote promises reliability. It's not just about opening doors, it's about lasting assurance. We offer a service that inspects each part, making sure your door system thrives. With our service agreement with inspections up to 4 times a year, we spot the signs of wear before they whisper a problem, saving you more than just peace of mind. Opt for a 2-year plan and the savings rise. Make sure you get out the door with Smith Overhead Door at sohd.info. We're not just opening doors, we're opening possibilities.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Guided by a strong work ethic, devoted to family, and a state senator getting things done. Steve Meredith, he's working for us. A no-nonsense conservative, Steve cuts through the bull in Frankfurt. 100% pro-life and pro-Second Amendment. Steve Meredith is protecting our values. He's fighting inflation by cutting income taxes, putting money back in our pocket. And Steve supports our veterans. He has their back in Frankfurt. Believe in Steve. Vote Steve Meredith for State Senate.
Paid for by Steve Meredith for State Senate.
Be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, sohd.info.
Twin Lakes weather. Rounds of showers and thunderstorms are expected through the afternoon into this evening. Some of those thunderstorms could be strong to severe or damaging winds, hail, and the potential for tornadoes. We'll see that potential for severe weather again as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know people tend to mimic the actions of the person they are attracted to? People tend to mimic the actions of the person they are attracted to. That monkey see, monkey do? Is that how that works?
I guess.
You find yourself mimicking the actions of anyone in particular?
No comment. I don't know. Like I've never really considered.
You say no. By the way, the Colonel wanted me to mention. She meant to mention, and she did not, and nor did I. That we'll be at Art in the Park as well. So we've got live coverage there and got swag to give away. So we're looking forward to that. Here's today's water cooler question. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win by texting your answer to 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. Up for grabs your choice between the Louisville Zoo's Wild Lights adventure, and that's good through May 19th, or you can have tickets to One Vision of Queen at the River Park Center later this month. So two tickets to the zoo, or 2 tickets to the One Vision of Queen, whichever you would like to choose. And the question is this: 6 in 10 drivers do not know how to do this. 6 out of 10 drivers do not know how to do this.
Drive?
That may be a little higher than 6. By the way, my dad and I have been talking. Have they stopped teaching new drivers how to pass on a 2-lane road when safe to do so?
No.
They haven't stopped teaching people how to do that?
Well, no, it was interesting for me though when I came to this area, where I'm from, that's not a thing. Like
because they're not passing zones?
Yeah, most of the country roads that we have, you are not passing on. Because, I mean, they're really windy and so on. And
the other roads are city streets.
Correct. And obviously you're not passing on those. It was interesting.
Yeah. Well, you get behind something 45 miles an hour and you're a parade of about 5 people. You go, I think I'm kind of stuck. 6 in 10 drivers do not know how to do this.
I think I got a good answer today.
You do? You have a good answer, or you think you have the correct answer?
Oh, I'm seeing some of them come in, and I feel like that might be the right answer, but I feel like I've got the what should be the right answer.
Huh? Okay. Here's
I know why you're humming.
Yeah, I was like, what? Where did my story go? I had a story on Katy Perry. The Met Gala was last night in New York. And so I was seeing this morning, the report from the Met Gala and what everybody was wearing. But earlier this week, Katy Perry's viral AI Met Gala image was so good that it fooled her own mom. So somebody took AI and put Katy Perry in a Met Gala gown, and it started circulating the internet. But the giveaway was the carpet wasn't the color that it is this year. So that was a giveaway. But her mom sent her a note, said, "Ha, Feather, didn't know you went to the Met. What a gorgeous gown. You look like the Rose Parade. You are your own float." So she had to respond to her mom, "Mom, the AI got you too. Beware." So that's not even her, and should be a testament that even your own mother who gave birth to you can be fooled.
If you look at the face, you can kind of tell that it looks a little
fake.
Uh-huh.
A little artificial.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the other thing on the, remember, artificial intelligence isn't genuine intelligence. So maybe there's a giveaway. By the way, we know where Katie is. She's in LA. She's in the studio, and she's in Los Angeles because Idol is still underway. Yellowstone news. Cole Hauser is hinting at a possible spinoff with Kelly Riley. He was asked about his future, and he said, "We'll see where that leads, but I know there's some stuff on the horizon when it comes to Taylor," that's Sheridan's, ideas for Kelly Riley and myself and some of the other cast. I'm excited to see where he goes creatively with that.
Haven't there already been spinoffs of this?
There have been prequels.
So yes.
There have been 1883 and 1923, and then the current day Duttons. They won't let, it's too popular. The franchise is way too popular. Losing Kevin Costner is not going to unravel the Yellowstone universe. The Neighborhood, which is one of my favorite shows, starring Cedric the Entertainer, they are spinning off a series at Paramount Plus that this one stars Tracy Morgan. So there's somehow they're going to, it's a half-hour multicam comedy. It's titled Crutch. And somehow they're going to spin this off of The Neighborhood. So maybe in the final few episodes, it's going to take place in the same neighborhood. So those worlds will overlap, I'm sure, in some way. Last year we had Barbenheimer. We had Barbenheimer to the point that it became a word that when I say Barbenheimer, you know that's two movies put together. One's Barbie, one is Oppenheimer. This year's Barbenheimer is apparently Furiosa and a Garfield movie. Mad Max prequel Furiosa is coming to theaters May 24th, and so is the Chris Pratt voiced Garfield movie.
Is Alea,
So
is this on her radar?
I don't think so. I've not heard anything about it. I would be surprised. And I'd be curious to know, is Garfield, Garfield was popular when my parents were in their 30s, so are they making Garfield for the adults, or are they making Garfield for the kids? Is this like Ted? or is this like Dr. Seuss?
I don't know if it's quite Dr. Seuss, but I don't think it's Ted.
Yeah, I would highly doubt that it.
Although I would be semi-entertained by watching Garfield say what's really on his mind.
Well, I wonder who Garfield's Thunder Buddy would be. Would it be Odie? Would Odie be Garfield's Thunder Buddy?
Or what's his Nurble, or what's his cousin?
Oh, I forgot about Nurble. But
Nurble?
then John can't be Garfield's Thunder Buddy.
He'd probably
just won't work.
Snuggle up with some lasagna and.
He's like any other cat. He just doesn't like other people or things in general. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, find out who wins the water cooler question, point to ponder, chart toppers, pearl of wisdom, and more coming up. You're on In the Know.
What is freedom? Is it the absence of rules and discipline? Or is freedom submitting to rules and discipline? I believe freedom begins with submission. Let me explain it this way. I like to play golf, but it's a difficult game. You don't just grab a club for the first time and whack a ball 300 yards straight down the middle of the fairway. I wish it were that easy. A golf swing takes years of practice to develop and a lifetime to master. And yet it's the discipline itself that offers me freedom. The more I discipline myself to master the mechanics and rhythm of my golf swing, the freer I become to hit the right shot at the right time anywhere on the course. There is freedom through discipline in other areas of life as well. When we understand the vocabulary and syntax of a language, for example, we're free to express ourselves. When we submit to the discipline of a good diet and exercise, we feel better. When we practice integrity and faith in our everyday lives, we develop good character that rises to the surface when adversity comes. And when we submit ourselves to the wisdom of God and His values, we are free to live a more joyful, happier life. Discipline and rules are counterintuitive. They anchor us, but they also give us wings to fly. They hold us back, but they also set us free to achieve far more than we could have otherwise. To discover new freedom in your life, discover the joy of submission. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. What place is on your travel bucket list?
There's
What
a
place
lot.
is on your travel bucket list?
There's a lot that could be
Samurai.
on there. Australia, I've always wanted to go there. I've got to go to Britain.
You want to go see Bluey? You want to go see Bluey, I presume.
Yeah, oh yeah. I've England.
Okay.
See the ancestry there. Ireland. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
So I'm going to give you my oldest travel bucket list entry, and then I'll mention a couple of more recent ones that will probably overlap with yours. But the longest bucket list item on the travel that I have had is Tahiti. Like, for the longest time, I've wanted to go to Tahiti or Bora Bora, somewhere French Polynesia. Now, more and more, I want to go to Rome, but then I do want to see the United Kingdom, those areas as well. So I would like to explore Europe, but for some reason, just French Polynesia has always appealed to me as the place to go. It's a long way from home, by the way.
It is. You better have a good boat to get you there.
Yeah, well, it's you're going a long way when you've got a layover in Honolulu. I mean,
There are worse places to have a layover.
That's true, without a doubt. And Honolulu is just sort of a warm-up to Tahiti. The water cooler question today was 6 in 10 drivers don't know how to do this. What did you think, Sam?
Like a blinking traffic light. What to do?
Oh, yeah, when the lights go out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, four-way stoplight. The answer is jump start their car.
Oh.
Jump start their car. There were lots of parallel parks, I believe. There were
Which is a good answer.
oil
It's a good answer.
changes. Parallel park, I'd say, is higher than 6 in 10. But did you find anyone who was able to figure out?
It does.
Jump
Looks like a
start car?
phone number 5020.
5020. Congratulations to you.
No,
on TV tonight.
In my
What?
defense, I don't know if I fit in this. I usually Google it, but that's because I can never remember which side is which, and it's better just to Google it. But I know what I'm doing. I just can never remember which is positive and which is negative.
Yours has gotten a little harder too because the terminals are harder to get to.
Correct.
I know that because we drive the same manufacturer.
Correct.
So I deal with the same. On television tonight, you are going to get NBA Finals and NHL Finals. Let's do the highlight in history real quick. This day, 1945, Nazi Germany signed an unconditional surrender. Birthdays today. The birthday list is short. Thelma Houston is 81. Eagle Eye Cherry is 53. 80 Bryant, the comedian, is 37. But check out this Gone But Not Forgotten list. Brahms in 1833. Tchaikovsky in 1840. Gabby Hayes, who was the sidekick for Hopalong Cassidy and Roy Rogers, 1885. Gary Cooper in 1981. Eva Perón in 1919. Darren McGavin, who played Ralphie's old man in A Christmas Story. He was born this date in 1922. Babe Perilli played football at UK in 1930. Johnny Unitas, 1933, when he played football at Louisville. And Jimmy Ruffin was born this day in 1939, and Tim Russert in 1950.
Is that
long list of famous people?
Is UConn just celebrating all those birthdays, and that's why he couldn't take the time to join us today? Is he just
pretty much? I don't know what lame excuse he had.
Checks out.
Teresa Buer. You good night, the Bon Jovi story on What's your thoughts, Sam? We're going to have baseball tonight? Or...
We had just a pretty decent rain shower here about 40 minutes ago, so I'm hoping that we can have some baseball tonight. If it is, it'll be at 5 o'clock, and if not, I guess I'll see you at whatever we're doing later.
The betting public says probably not, but
I'm going to be optimistic and say that yes.
Keep on optimizing, as far as I say. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, friends are the siblings God never gave us. Friends are the siblings God never gave us. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K105. WKHG,